Welcome to the Niagara Grit podcast. I'm your host, Robert Abertowski, and we're going to get into it today about, you guessed it, the hiring, should I say it, of Joe Brady. That's going to be our main talk of the day to start with, but we're also going to talk a little Sabres hockey. After the Joe Brady talk, we'll go over, the AFC NFC Championship game. We did good in our picks, 2-0. We're right on with that one. I mean, it was pretty easy picks there that week. No brainers. We'll go over that. And we'll talk about some of this cold weather we're having. And I kind of want to rank where the snowplow people are, like in Niagara County here. We'll give you my rankings, and you guys can put your comments if you want what you think. But first, I want to thank my sponsor, Total Fence. We're going to, he's our sponsor. He's bringing us some more equipment in. Like I said, we're working on that still, but it's on its way. Called him yesterday, talked to me yesterday. We'll have that, try to make the show a little better. But the show's going great with what we got right now. I'm not going to lie. This is our 5th episode, and we're doing good on views and all that other stuff. So we're just going to keep rolling until we keep, until we're dead. So let's do it. Let's get into this Bills talk to start off the show. I don't know how I think of this right now. I remember 2 years ago, we were doing pretty good. We got rid of Dorsey. And Joe Brady came along from quarterback coach to offensive coordinator. Had a great year. We ended up losing, to Kansas City again, like we always were under McDermott. So maybe it was the defense. I don't know. That's time to find out. But I remember 2 years ago, we were worried that we were going to lose Joe Brady himself as our offensive coordinator to another NFL team. We had no idea that we were going to have McDermott fired in a year after. But as the year went on this year, a lot of complaints about Joe Brady. I was one of them. I don't like them little bubble screen passes. We all bitched about it. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. I was running them out. I couldn't wait to get rid of him this year. I was like, someone please hire this guy so he isn't our offensive coordinator no more. And that was before the firing of Joe McDermott. So let's get into a little bit with this much. With the Bills' offense this year, let's call it what it is. I got stuff written down here. It was inconsistent at times and then unbelievable good at other times. So with that said, I think we had sometimes there was a little bit too much hero ball from Josh. I don't know if Joe Brady fixes that. I don't think he can. Josh is going to be Josh. And we all said, let Josh be Josh. Well, he's 30 years old. He can't keep running the ball like he's running. I can tell you that. Otherwise, he'll be sitting on the sidelines more often than not. Another thing with Josh this year that I didn't notice in the past 3 years, and I don't know who's to blame for this. Maybe it's not having the receivers that you needed, but forced throws. I mean, he threw a lot of interceptions this year, ranked right up the top of the league in interception TD ratio. I mean, it just wasn't the Josh we were in particular used to. Like he got forced throws early in his career. They were there, but he fixed that. And then it went right back to where it was. So I don't know about that. It seemed like we had a lot of long developing plays. Held the ball too long, then he would pull it down and run with it for 5 yards or throw it to a check down or something. It's another thing I didn't see a lot out of Josh in years past. And this is all going back. Is this Brady? Was this Brady's offense? I don't know. I have no clue. But, that's the offense this year. And when you got Josh Allen in his prime, stuff like that is unacceptable. Okay? Completely unacceptable. I don't agree with it. But, hey, I'm a Josh fan. I have his jersey on. I'm a Bills fan. I want the best for the team. And I hope I'm wrong. Like early on right now, I think I'm a little nervous about this Joe Brady hiring. That's what part of me says. But part of me says, okay, change is good. Maybe it'll be good. You bring in you now have a head coach who's an offensive head coach. That's what they want. We know that. Who does he bring as offensive coordinator? I'd love to see him bring Dable back, but I hear Dable's going to Tennessee if he didn't get the Bills job. Is it true? Who knows? Nothing's written down in paper. We'll find out as time goes on. But I don't think Joe Brady and Gabe, they can't get along. So and another side of me says that's a problem. Would I like it? I'd be opposed to it. I'd take it. But I think it could be a problem for the team if that happens. But another part of me says, with Joe Brady, change is good, right? And then another part of me says, what I got written down here, I got to get this shit where I want it. Change is good, but change is maybe not good. So we'll go with that. I want to move on to why the fans are frustrated here. And let's call it what it is. The Bills' offense last season, like I already said, I'm gonna like shoot this computer. I already wrote this stuff down. Segment 2. Okay. I have what does Joe Brady bring? Okay. We're gonna go. He has a lot of upside. You know, he come from LSU, and that team, that team was great offense. I mean, go back, I see it on Twitter today. I forget who was on that team, but they were talking big about it. So he has a lot of upside in him. His background, like we already said, is modern offense. As the 2019 LSU team, you look that team up, and I'll tell you right now, you'll be like, wow, Joe Brady, 2019 LSU. That's where he came from. But he had a really good year that year, and as an offense coordinator there, and that's why the Bills hired him. I think as quarterback coach, and then brought him on as the offense coordinator. If he even brings half of what he did at LSU, the offense, it could be pretty good, as we've seen him bring up. Why do we think this could help Josh? Listen, Josh Allen shouldn't have to be Superman every snap. And I think that now that he's coached, I think we know he's going to bring quicker throws. The quicker throws will come. I think he's going to keep that 3 second in his head. I think that's what Joe Brady's going to bring into as a head coach because he's got more of what he wants to do. He doesn't have to answer to Coach McDermott. Defined reads, better use of the tight ends. I mean, you got Kincaid out there. Knox had a good year, but Kincaid he should be a Pro Bowl player. Yes, he's in the Pro Bowl. He's taking Kelsey's place there out of Kansas City, but did he put up Pro Bowl numbers? I don't know, but he could. So better use of the tight ends, I think we're going to get. Let's take a look at his weapons. There wasn't much there besides Kincaid. Josh didn't have many weapons. So, yeah. But it's a nice toolbox. You could keep bringing on. So that's the upside, I think, with bringing Joe Brady in as coach compared to offense coordinator. The worries that we have, okay? Here's the concern. Joe Brady is still a young coach. We talked about that. Do we really want to bring in a young coach with an older quarterback? Josh Allen's 30 years old. So what I think we have with Joe Brady, he still has to prove himself here as a play caller. And Buffalo's not a training ground. This is a Super Bowl or bust roster coming up next year. I hope. I don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. We could be looking at 4-13 and not making it. Oh man, I just don't want to think. And we could be sitting here, the same spot, talking about this next year where we're at right now. Like, could Joe Brady be one and done? I mean, he signed a 5-year contract. But if he brings this team, Josh Allen, next year, we have a losing record. We don't make the playoffs. Fans are going to be out for blood. If you look at Twitter, Facebook, they're already out for blood. The comments coming in on Joe Brady are not good. The majority of the people do not like this move. I'm going to look at it. I'm a Bills fan. Give the guy a chance. I don't like the move, but it's out of our hands. We're still going to go to the games. We're still going to pack the stadium. We're still going to fill the seats. This is Buffalo Bills Mafia. We are the Buffalo Bills. This is the Niagara Grit, by the way, and we like to get gritty out here sometimes. So I think it's going to be all right at that aspect. But if not, I don't know. I don't know, man. All I'm asking is Bills Mafia, not Bill Mafia, Bills Mafia. We got to be patient here, okay? Let's see what we got before we throw this guy under the bus and go. I just can't believe that we hired Joe Brady. But here's my final take. So where do I land? Where does the Niagara Grit land on this? I wrote it down. So like you can tell, I'm upset over this hiring. And we're still talking about fixing the offense. Josh Allen's in his 7th year. Was in his 7th year, his 8th year coming up, 30 years old. Shouldn't be the case. If Brady hits, and he becomes a coach that he believes he can, and obviously that Bean and Pagula thinks he can, I'll tell you right now, this offense could be a top 5 again. I don't think we were top 5 this year, but we put a lot of points up at times. So I think we could be a top 5 again. It's not great, but we'll see. So my outro on this is that's my take. I'm a little frustrated, but a little hopeful. So we're going to go with that on this Joe Brady hiring. This podcast here that I had a little bit different podcast plan, so I didn't really have a lot of time to research the hiring because my job doesn't require me to do this research. I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm at work at 4. I get out at 3, 4 o'clock. I don't have a lot of time when this stuff just pops up. And this is the second time it's happened. It happened with the McDermott firing. And that, it's just what a time to start podcasting, I'll tell you. But anyways, with that, that's it. That's all I have right now for this Bills hiring. We'll talk about it more in the future once he gets his offensive coordinator hired and see what he brings after that. And then we'll talk about it more, and I can do more research. I got to be better with that. But let me tell you something. I'm still a Bills fan. Drink some water here. My throat gets dry. Bills Mafia, let's take this with hopeful that we can rebound and come back next season. If we do, we'll be happy. We'll be talking Joe Brady's great. He's the answer. Look what we did. So we're going to find out. We're going to be sitting here, fire this guy. Fire him. I'm fired up right now. And with that, I'm going to bring on the AFC Championship game. What a horror show that was, huh? 10-7. Does anyone else remember an AFC's? I think it was the AFC Championship game. Anyways, the Buffalo Bills played the Denver Broncos and beat them 10-7. The Carlton Bailey blocked. I think it was an interception and blocked field goal. I can't remember. He ran it back. Bills won that playoff game 10-7. But yeah, that just reminded me of that game. But this game was awful from the start. Steedman, his stats were just, he couldn't do nothing. Then a snowstorm hit. I mean, the New England Patriots had the easiest run to the Super Bowl in the history of the NFL. Easiest. They're there. And then you got to the NFC Championship game, which I consider the Super Bowl. I picked the Seahawks to win. They won. And they're going to dominate the Super Bowl. This isn't a Super Bowl. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. I have to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I'll watch some of it. I might go to bed halftime. I tell you what, I ain't going to watch the goddamn halftime show watching Big Bunny, Bugs Bunny, Big Bunny, whatever the hell his name is, Bunny, speaking in Spanish. They don't even know a goddamn word of Spanish. Uno, dos, tres, that's all I know. So I know I'm not watching that crap. But with that said, I'm going to take a little break here, and I'm going to get into that winter weather when we come back with the snow plowing. I'm going to write some stuff down who I think the top 5 are on snow plowing in this Niagara region for the Niagara Grit, Niagara County. Some people will like my answers. Some people won't. Always put your answers in the comment. I will answer your comments. So for now, we're going to take a little break. And this is the Niagara Grit, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Niagara Grit podcast. Thank you for watching, and hit that subscribe and like button as much as you can. So that was it. We just had that little segment there on the hiring of Joe Brady. Now I'm going to move into a little something different. So if you look at our description here on YouTube, when we're podcasting, it has a description on there. It says we're talking about, sports and stuff in between. This is something about stuff in between, okay? We're going to go with the winter we're having right now. Man, November was not bad. December was small, a little bit of snow here and there, a little bit. But man, are we getting hit now? Are we paying for it in January? I'm scared to look at my next heat bill. I'll tell you that. Man, is it cold. I got the heat up on 70 right now. Usually I run around 62, but with these winds, oh my God. And with me working outside, that doesn't help me much better neither. So, but this is just going to be a little short segment. We're going to go over a little bit about the weather and how much snow we received last snowfall. I think they said we got 7 to 8.5 inches here in Niagara Falls. It just seems like more. I've been shoveling my balls off. Like, I'm sick of shoveling. Every 5 minutes, I gotta go out and shovel. I know, it's Western New York. It's winter. We should be used to it. Well, I'm not used to it. I'm 50 goddamn years old. I don't want to shovel no more. She's going to buy a snowboard, but I'm too goddamn cheap. But yeah, so the winter's not great. And it looks like we're going to get another storm this weekend, maybe. So that just means more shoveling. We got another 2 inches of snow today, I guess, out there. But the wind, with that said, the wind kind of blew it away a little bit. So I was happy about that. So I didn't have to shovel that much when I got home from work. Speaking of work, I mean, people with the weather, okay? Most of you know I work for a local garbage company. The last couple weeks, nobody's putting their garbage out. Like, it was not much garbage at all. Like, this is nice. Just going through a nice little winter. All this snow hits. Everybody, you all got your garbage out. The worst thing is it's buried in the snow. Come on, help us out a little bit and dig those totes out of the snow. I'm sick of driving out there, getting in knee deep, dragging a tote out of the snow. Them things are heavy, especially people in Lockport. Jesus. But you're not bad people. I love the people in Niagara County. I'll tell you that. So, but there are good things to talk about the winter. You know, for you people who like to go skiing, tubing, sledding. You could drive up to Helgaville. Perfect time of the year to go skiing. Couldn't ask for better weather. Little cold. You're gonna have to dress for it. But like our sponsor there, Total Fence, owns a couple snowmobiles. They're up there this weekend in Springville driving the trails. Give him a call if you know him. He'll invite you down to his camp and have you go drive with them. They love it out there. They're out all weekend. Bunch of them up there at his camp. So yeah, there's good things about the winter. There's bad things. So I like it and I hate it. Like I said, I wanted to keep this as a short segment, just to talk about how cold this Buffalo winter is going. I could say the Niagara Falls, winter Niagara Grit. We are the Niagara Grit. So with that said, oh my God, there's a lot of noise going down from the basement. I think it's a goddamn dryer. So I wrote something down here on break there while I was taking a break. And I wanted to go with the 3 best Niagara County snowplow services and the 3 worst. So I'm going to start with the 3 best, okay? Number 1, I think the best people in the snow plowing for us residents, is New York State. You got a state road near you, it's clear all the time. These guys do a really good job. They really do. I can't say more about the state roads than anything because I'm around. I'm all over with my job. And if it's a state road, it's clear all the time. Even in the bad snowstorms, they really do a great job. So they're number 1 on my list. And put your people. I want to hear in the comments if you want. Tell us who you think's good and who's bad, or if I'm wrong or if I'm right. It doesn't matter. I'm good to be told I'm wrong, and I'm good to be told I'm right. Number 2, I'm going to give a call out to the town of Wheatfield. You guys do a great job out there in Wheatfield. Roads are pretty clear all the time. People can't complain out there in Wheatfield. You go on Facebook, you'll see the complaints. You don't see many in Wheatfield. They do an excellent job. And I'm going to go with, number 3. Right next to Niagara Falls here is the town of Niagara. Great job of snow removal there as well. You get bare pavements all the time. They can't do a better job out there at the town of Niagara. And now, people, we're going with the 3 worst townships with their snow plowing. I'm going to go backwards. The 3rd worst. And I used to think these guys were good. I don't know what's happened. But I'll come downtown Lewiston Hill there to go into work. Down the hill, it's clear. But that's a state road. As soon as I get off that state road, nothing. They may run and plow. I think they spend so much time on Indian Hill, which you have to, but at least take care of some of the other roads. I don't think Lewiston is great with their snow plowing. That's the town of Lewiston, not the state. You'll see roads in Lewiston that the state do that are clear because the state's number 1. I really do think that. And the number 2, I work out there, so I get it. Lockboy, you do a great job on like Main Street and stuff like that. You got to take care of these alleys. You get in the alleys. There's not many alleys out there. I think I'm losing some lighting. But yeah, there's not many alleys out there. But it's horrible. You got trucks getting stuck out there, and just hit the alleys. You got smaller units to go through them. Your main streets are dumb, but your side streets are bad too. Come on, Lockport. Your number 2 on my list is worst. And then you don't even want to know number 1. Who do you people think is the worst snowplows in Niagara County? And I'm going to tell you that right now. And I got some friends out there. I'm sorry, Bobby Allen. I am sorry. But Niagara Falls is the worst at snowplowing. My street went like 2 days without being snowplowed. People were stuck, everything else. Come on, man. Niagara Falls. I don't think this is any new news. This is not old news. You have been the worst snowplowing people for a century now. It doesn't matter who the mayor is. I can't even yell at the mayor because it doesn't matter. You guys are just not good. Not even on the main roads. It's horrible. Get your heads out of your asses and plow the goddamn roads. Put some salt down so people stop getting stuck. So that's the end of this segment. I'm going to take another quick break here because I want to get some stuff written down, do some research on the Sabres game tonight. We are playing Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's always a good game. It's in Toronto, though. It's not in Buffalo. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Sabres. We're doing really well. We're going to go over these last 2 games to see how they did. We got pulled up on the computer and on the laptop here, and we'll talk about Sabres when we get back. But Niagara Falls, get with the program, will you? This is Rob Rapatowski with the Niagara Grit. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Niagara Grit podcast. We're going to talk some Sabres hockey now. Before we do that, I'd like to thank my sponsor again, Total Fence. Thank you for your sponsorship. We're going to keep mentioning you before each segment so people get to know who you are and what you do for us. They're bringing us up some stuff. So I want to get into this little Sabres talk here. We're going to go with where they've been. Last time I talked to you guys, we beat Nashville. I think what was the score here? We beat Nashville. We beat them 5-3. We went over that game. I went over the Sabres-Nashville game. We beat them 5-3. After that, we had 2 more games, and we ended up beating the Canadiens. A huge game for the Sabres. Beat the Canadiens 4-2. That, people, is when I said, we're back. The Sabres are officially back after winning that game. And there's nothing but upside here with this team right now. I'm telling you, I'm very excited. And then you went into Long Island there against a very tough Islander team. That team's tough. And Alex Lyon with the shutout, man. I'm telling you, 5-0 Sabres victory. That the team is showing a lot of grit right now. And you can't. I'm going to go over some stats from that game real quick here. I'll pull them up here. I got it on the old iPad here. The box score. Let's pull her up. The Sabres won 5-0 was the final score. And they did really well. They were out hit 24-16. That's a little bit what this team still lacks, a little bit of toughness. I think our general manager, I don't even want to say his name because I can't. I'll fuck it up. But yeah, I got to bring some more toughness to the team, I think. Besides that, we did really well. We won 5-0. We outshot 26-21. Is that right? I mean, let's go back to the recap here. They're not giving me much. This is not what I wanted to pull up. But your key players, you had Alex Lyon with 26 saves, so the shots must have been right. 26 save shutout there for Alex Lyon. Great game from him. Man, they have to trade a goalie soon. And I hope it's not Alex Lyon. The kid is playing on top of his head. You can't ask for a better goaltender than that. I'm going to go over to the Sabres Lions tonight. I don't know who they're going with. We'll see who they're going with in goaltending in a second here. Another key player for that game was Jason Zucker, man. Jason Zucker can really play. This kid, when we got him, I wasn't too excited for him. I'm like, man, it's just Jason Zucker. He come out from Pittsburgh. He's been playing with Crosby and them. So, yeah, they're going to make him look good. But, man, he is the Niagara Grit. He's got grit written all over him, that guy. He's just pounding the shit out of people. And you talk about toughness, he's got it. Jason Zucker's got some of the best toughness on his team. And he's playing really well. He ended up having 2 goals, 2 block shots, 3 shots on net. Way to go, Jason Zucker. Great game. That was about it for the Sabres. The main players I wanted to talk about, a couple of them. Let's see what else I had written down here. And that's about it for that game. 5-0 Sabres. Jason Zucker, big time player. And guess who did not score an empty net that game? Yep, Peyton Krebs did not get an empty net game for the Buffalo Sabres. Not get an empty net goal for the Buffalo Sabres. I can't score them every game, right? So that's they're just playing really great right now. And tonight we have the Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Buffalo Sabres. Best rivalry in hockey as far as I'm concerned. The Sabres are doing great right now. As we know, I'm going to look at the standings real quick, give you an update on that and where the Leafs stand and where the Sabres stand. NHL standings. Let's bring this baby up, okay? NHL standings. In the Atlantic Division. Okay, here we go. The Buffalo Sabres right now, as we speak, you haven't seen this in a while, hold the 3rd seed. Ladies and gentlemen, your Buffalo Sabres hold the 3rd seed in the playoffs right now. A lot of ways to go. We could still not make the playoffs. We have a hiccup or something. We might get stopped. But I'll tell you right now, if you told me 4 weeks ago we were going to hold the number 3 seed in the Atlantic Division, I'd tell you you're out of your mind. I tell you that Josh Allen was going to carry the Bills. Well, I think I did say that. Stop right there. But yeah, I'd say you're out of your mind. There's no way that Sabres are going to be a 3rd seed. They're going to try to squeak into the playoffs here. But no, I think the way this team's playing, the upside there is crazy. Their record right now, through 51 games this season, the Buffalo Sabres have 29 wins, 17 losses, and 5 ties for 63 points. They're a little bit behind Toronto and Tampa. But hey, if we can get the 3rd seed, we have something. I'm telling you right now. We don't have to. We can avoid Carolina, avoid Tampa in the first round of the playoffs. That'd be great. So let's keep the upside going here. I mean, we got teams right on our tail. You want to look at the team we're playing. Also with the Sabres, their goals for 172 to 155. That's a plus 17. When was the last time the Buffalo Sabres were that high in goal differential? It's been a long time. So with that said, what a difference a year makes. We're going to the Leafs now, okay? The Toronto Maple Leafs right now they're behind 2 teams behind before they got to catch 3 teams to make the wild card standings right now. And their record right now, Austin had, well, man, they lost some players. It was a Marner they got rid of. Should never did that, man. That was the downfall of this team, was getting rid of Marner for Toronto in my eyes. I've been watching a lot of hockey lately, getting back into it now that the Sabres are doing good. So, and started this podcast as part of my main show right now through here out through the rest of the winter. We got much to talk about after the Super Bowl. I'm going to start talking about some baseball in a little bit as this horrible winter gets over. We already talked about that. But anyways, the Toronto Maple Leafs through 52 games, 24 wins, 19 losses, 9 overtimes losses. It's a lot for overtime losses. They ain't finishing the job, plain and simple. They're getting OT, but they're losing a lot of points. They remind me, that's right, of your Buffalo Sabres. These 2 teams flip-flopped. That's what they did this year. They flip-flopped. Anyways, that gives them 57 points. So that is what? You got 3. They're 6 points behind the Sabres. This is a big game for them. But listen, they're chasing like 4 teams. Sabres ain't chasing nobody. They just want to hold on to that 3rd team. So, and with that, their goals against, 170, goals for, 176, goals against. That's a -6, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Maple Leafs are not in good shape right now. And I really think that Buffalo's going to win their 4th in a row. I'm rooting for them to win their 4th in a row. I am a biased podcaster. I'm a Buffalo Sabres sports fan. So, yeah, let's go Buffalo. Let's get in with the lines tonight for your Buffalo Sabres. And then we'll go over to Leafs lines. The first line tonight, so far, this is according to dailyfaceoff.com, something I used to use when I played DraftKings. So I use it now to tell you the lines. They're usually pretty up to date what these guys are. So they got Tage Thompson, center, and Zach Benson up there on the top line with Alex Tuck. That's a little bit of change. Zach Benson's earned it. He's been playing really well. You got booed in Montreal. And he talks about he wants to be booed, and that his goal is to be booed in every NHL arena. My mouth gets a little dry from this talking. But that's a big accomplishment if you get booed in every NHL arena. Go Zach Benson, 20-year-old kid, not even old enough to drink beer yet. He's already talking about being booed in every NHL arena. You got to love it. Love his character. Let's go Zach Benson. On your second line, you're going to have Ryan McLeod, center, and Jack Quinn, along Jason Zucker. Let's hope Zucker stays in the lineup, don't get no more injuries, because, I mean, the kid's been playing great. We're not hearing good news on Josh Norris. Honestly, that's a big loss for the Sabres. I think that's where this trade's going to come involved. We got to get another player in here, people, because we could downfall pretty quickly. This team isn't, we're not number one in the NHL. We're doing really well, but we could fall apart here if we have a couple other injuries. And then we got the kid line. I love this line, man. Josh Doan, Noah Ostlund, and Casanta Halinas. The kid line. Playing great, man. I bought that Josh Doan jersey, and what did he do after I bought it? This is the best news I have for this week's podcast, by the way. Josh Doan. I buy the man's jersey, and he signs a 7-year contract. You know how happy I was to see that? When I bought this jersey, I'm like, man, he's only got one. I said, they got to sign him. But for 7 years, I'm overjoyed. How many times do you go and buy a jersey, right? You get this jersey, a nice jersey. Like I have Josh Allen now for 8 years. But you get these jerseys, and you get the player for 2 or 3 years, you're all pumped and doing well, and they get traded. They're gone. So I'm pretty happy that Josh Doan signed 7 years. I think he's going to be here for 7 years. The kid's great. Josh Doan. Love it. And then we're going to go with our fourth line. Playing really well, man. A lot of grit. Green Ray's starting to pull back some where he was before his injuries. He's going to be centered by Peyton Krebs. And the other liner, Becken Melkenstein. I like Melkenstein, man. This team, I'm telling you right now, is really coming along, and I'm excited. We win tonight. Man, before this, I just can't believe it. I'm astonished how well they're doing. And it's great to watch hockey again. With all this goddamn Bills news and all this disappointment, we needed something, right? You always have the Bandits. They're not doing great right now. We were talking about them on Friday, maybe. The next podcast, see how they do Friday night. We'll go over their game. They need a win over there. But the Sabres, though, man, they've really gave us something to look forward to for the rest of the winter, where usually the Bills get eliminated and it's over. How depressing can a winter be? But when the Sabres are doing good, I can't wait for every game. I'm like looking ahead here. So seeing who they play next, it's crazy. So with that said, I want to go with the Leafs lineup tonight. A little different than what we've seen from the Leafs, man. So I got to pull it up. Oh, wait, who are the Sabres starting goalie tonight? That's a good question. Our defensive. I didn't go over the defense. What am I doing here? Our 3 defensive lineups tonight. We got Darlene with Samuelson. There's no change there. Brian's playing with Owen Power. Power's picked it up a little bit. I'll give him a little bit of credit. Where it's due. Power has picked it up a little bit. But we need a trade. I think we need another big forward to come in here, and he could be part of that trade. A goaltender with Power, you're going to get a top 6 out of that. If you throw in a second-round pick or something, you'll get a top 6 forward. But anyways, you got Mesta with Karlsson. Mesta, I like him. Excuse me for my language. I don't pronounce last names. I could never be a play-by-play guy. They would run me off the set, messing up people's names. But yeah, so that's a defensive lineup there for the Sabres. I'm not going to go over the power play units right now, because I want to get to the starting goalie here. I just lost my stupid thing here. Come on, come back up. Having a lot of problem with the internet here lately. Spectrum's got some kind of thing going on. I've been seeing Spectrum trucks in the neighborhood all week, and I do not like it. Do not like it at all. Leafs lineups. That's all I want to go to. Oh, no, I want to go Sabres starting goalie. Who are the Sabres? Who's starting the Sabres goalie? See, this is where the podcast gets bad. When my computer just went dead. Here we go. What do they got saying here? Back to daily face-off. Let's go. There we go. Sabres. Starting goalies tonight for why when a goalie comes off a shutout, do you not go right back to him? Now I'm a little nervous after seeing this news. So it isn't confirmed. That's one good question. The Sabres have not confirmed their goalie tonight, but it's put down as likely as Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I think you got to go back to Lyon here. If we have Luukkonen tonight, I think we're in trouble. He's not my favorite. I'm telling you, I want to trade this guy, get him out of here. I want us to win. He's not bad, but I think he holds Lyon back. And if you're going to keep switching them back and forth, that's not good. We don't want to switch back and forth. The Leafs have confirmed Joseph Woll as their goaltender. Let's look at his stats real quick. If they pull him up here for me. They ain't good. This thing is just not. Show more. Okay, his win-loss record for Joseph Woll, 11-6-4. What? That's not too good, but it's not bad. Joseph Woll, 11-6-4. This is horrible. I'm having a horrible time with this podcast tonight. I apologize, but it happens. It's just the Bills news got me all screwed up. I'm telling you. See, goaltenders. Now I gotta let it load because, like I said, the internet's messed up here lately. Spectrum's supposed to come out and look at mine, see what's going on. I don't want the NHL League goaltenders. Anyways, there we go. Joseph Woll, 11 wins, 6 losses, 4 overtime losses for Joseph Woll playing against the Sabres tonight. He's got goals against average of 2.86 and a very high save percentage of 913. Sabres are going to have to do some work to win this game. Let's face it, we can do it. We're in Toronto. It'd be great to win in Toronto and shut them Leafs go chance up very quickly. And with that said, I'm gonna end the podcast tonight. I don't like the end of it here. I'll tell you that. I do not like the way I was talking here in the end. I got this internet screwing me up. When the internet's bad, the podcast could be bad. But hey, I love talking to you guys. So this is your host, Ron Robertowski from the Niagara Grit. We'll see you next week sometime. And I hope to have more Bills news, see if we get more an offensive coordinator's name or anything like that. Super Bowl won't be played this week. We've got another week. It's going to be Super Bowl week. They're going to go over a lot of stuff. It's going to be the most boring Super Bowl since we've had it. But that's the end of the podcast. And stay gritty. Because this is Niagara Grit. We'll talk to you next time.